just like that. You know, they're going to start saying that we are Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon.
Oh, yeah. That's not a bad duo.
It's not a bad duo. Of course, no. You're going to have to be like in your 40s to know who the hell that is. Weird, wild, wacky stuff. How you doing, my friend?
Not bad, not bad. Just getting ready for the show this weekend.
Oh, yes.
Scrambling. Got a quick piece of artwork done for that. But, you know, it's the hustle and bustle. I love it.
Isn't it always? Let's. I guess we should kick it off. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MBartist Alley Live. I am your host, Stephen Ahola, and with me is the Ed McMahon of artists, Jamie Coker, who is not only burning up the shows with the villainous villains, but he is also, oh, look at that. Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world has joined us.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. He's got belts everywhere but on his pants.
That's right. That's right. You're absolutely right.
Anyways, let me finish, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Coker. Jamie was just talking about a show he's going to this weekend. Jamie, tell everybody where you're heading.
It's going to be Minot, North Dakota for a show called iMagicCon. It's the first time we're doing it, so I'm really excited to see how that goes.
And everybody, you know what? COVID can't even keep this gentleman down, as he's been filling up the tank on a regular basis on the Mystery Machine, loading it up with your favorite eye candy and coming to a city near you. So I very much encourage you to go check him out, because he's got the newest villain. Who's the newest villain, Jamie?
Oh, yes, Megatron. Megatron, I do have it in hand.
Megatron is in hand. So transform on over to the show and pick some up. And with us is Marvel artist, Punisher, X-Men, or as I call him, the industry's best kept secret, Mr. John, say it with the French accent, Hebert. How you doing, Mr. Hebert?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am tired.
A lot of that going around, pal. A lot of that going around.
I don't know about you guys, but up here in Ontario, our numbers for COVID has been going up to the point where they're starting to decide who gets the ventilators and who not. So we are on complete lockdown. It's getting stupid up here. But the good news is my lovely wife has swung it, so I'm getting my after the show.
I
had my first one last week, or the week before last. I'm sorry, the week before last.
Which one did you get?
The not the Johnson & Johnson, not the Pfizer, the other one.
Moderna?
Moderna, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's the one I'm getting too. Apparently, that's a one-shotter, right?
No, that's 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah, I got to go back May the 6th.
Okay. So I'm one of 2. I'm going to be getting number 1. I'm doing a number 1. I don't know who number 2 works for yet. Jamie,
well, the world always treated me like number 2.
Yeah. Jamie, did you get vaccinated yet?
I got my first one last month, and I'm getting my second one today.
Ooh, good for you, man. And timing is perfect, because you are on tour. You're like the Rolling Stones, man. You just keep on churning.
You know, I at one time I was considering making a shirt with all the dates on the back, just like a concert tee or something.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how it works. You send us questions and we ask them to the artists. Hopefully we're going to have more coming. I just got a text that Mustafa's running a little late. Joe also sent me a text that said he's not feeling well, so he won't be able to join us today. Bob says he will give us another 12 minutes randomly during our hour and a half.
But it's the quality of those 12 minutes.
12 minutes. I don't know why 12 minutes. Actually, I do know exactly why. Jamie and I figured it out yesterday. So we were looking at the stats, and apparently the average viewer watches our show for 12 minutes at a time. And I made the mistake of sharing that information with Bob. He said, fine, that's exactly what you're going to get me for.
But will it be the right 12 minutes?
Well, no one knows. No one knows. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is how it works. You give us some questions. We ask the artists. And by doing so, you get a ticket into the draw at the end of the show. You have to be here at the end of the show to win and say, I win. And you can pick. You're going to say, Steven, what can I win? Well, you can win one of our fabulous prizes of featured art prints.
Or Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
Yeah. Strategic Wi-Fi problems. All right, let's walk through our featured prints. Bob McLeod, we have his Web of Spider-Man, the classic from Craven's time.
Nice.
We have a very cool Some Like It Rot, Marilyn Monroe by Chad Hardin.
Very nice.
I like that.
We have another one of Francine Delgado's mashups of Batman and Sailor Moon.
Cute.
Jamie.
Oh.
What's this? What's this? Tell us of the print.
Oh, yeah. So Jack Skellington Nightmare Before Christmas is something that at one time was like it seemed like every show we went to, people were requesting something Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's in particular Jack Skellington. And I just got it just I don't want to say I got sick of the request, but eventually I just got to the point where I was like, I just got to do it and get it out of me. So watching the movie again before I drew it, I did remember there was that scene where the kid opens the package and there comes out the head or the shrunken head or whatever it is. And so I actually copied directly the package that the kid opens with the black ribbon on it, and just had Jack like he's presenting it to you. And then made sure I had Santa flying by the moon there.
Now, I know that I think this would be a perfect candidate for one of those animated NFTs we were talking about, like having the gift coming out to you. I think that'd be kind of cool for this piece.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got Jack Skellington, What's This by Jamie Coker. We have James C. Mulligan's Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. We have Joe Rubenstein, Vampirella.
Nice.
Oh, Mr. John Hebert, I've got an Electro Dressed to Kill. What's the story?
That was a commission for one of my few but intense fans, one of my most loyal fans. He got a lot of sketches from me. Usually every Christmas he'd get a big one for the family, and he told me, I got to stop. I'm running out of places to put them. But that just came together beautifully for me. I don't think I'd ever drawn Electra before. That was done, I think, about 3 years ago. And oh man, I just had fun with it because I wanted to get Hell's Kitchen in the back, and of course the Frank Miller water towers, and I wanted to try to make her attractive and in the forefront, but still have the kind of mundane, rundown, atmospheric city behind her. And I think it worked. The color just makes it pop.
Do they really have that many water towers in Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah, that's right from a photograph. There are a lot of water towers in New York City to begin with. You wouldn't believe how many are still there. Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we got John Hebert's Electra. We've got Mustafa Musa's Harley Quinn, multiple personalities.
Nice.
And another one of my Crypt Keepers from my time at Novena. So those are our featured art prints, ladies and gentlemen. And you're asking, Steven, other than potentially winning one of these fine art prints, how else can I get one? Well, you can just say claim whichever one you want. The lovely Jamie and Lovejeet out there in the pen will take care of you. Or you can go to MBartist.com, and on the website you can fill your boots with any one of these, whether it's fine art, platinum, or canvas. And when you go to checkout, put in the very complicated free shipping code, and you will get free shipping. We like to make it as complicated as possible so you guys can fill your boots. So those are our featured art prints and how you can get them. And so we're looking for your questions. And I think I may have forgotten to do, usually before we do the show, through Facebook, they have a thing for people coming, and I usually send out, hey guys, going on in 10 minutes, see you soon. I forgot to do that this time. So I don't know so guys, where you should be on, Eric, tell me if I'm wrong, YouTube, we should be on Facebook, and also we should be on Collector's Toy Shop. He confirms it. So we are on. We have 3 ways we could be watched. So please send in your questions. We'd love to hear from you. But if we don't hear from you, I've got a really great topic that I do want to talk to you guys about. We officially have launched Series 5. I don't know if Eric can strategically throw it up there for us. Our Series 5 is now available for free sale on MBartist.com. Eric, how you doing, my friend? Eric is on. He says you are. We got confirmation. If anybody would like to confirm if they're watching us, please drop it into the comments. We want to hear from you. But Series 5 is official. You can now get it on MBartist.com or any of the other artist websites. And look at some of our fabulous art prints. We've got our Golden Age tribute is Famous Funnies. And the great thing about not only are these prints, Basil's in the house. Basil, good to see you, my friend. Not only are these prints going to be available, but these are also going to be comic books. And we're doing something new with the comic books. I've got some of them here. I got some of our previous ones, Planet, and there's a Phantom in the back. There's a Phantom in the back. I got to pull out the Phantom. We've done Chamber of Chills. We've done Green Hornet. But something different. This is going to be the first time, guys, that we're going to have 4 different covers. And when we have them ready, I'm going to show them to you. Scott, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. The first one's going to be the traditional trade dress, which is like this one here. Check that out. Very cool. Whoop, where's my camera? And then the next one is going to be a virgin variant. The virgin variant's not going to have anything on it. It's just going to be artwork. So if you're very pure, you love the artwork like I do, you can get it without the trade dress. Third version. Wow, is that English? The third version is a sketch cover. We're doing sketch cover. And then finally, a 1 in 50 is going to be a blank. So we're going crazy with the comics, just like with the art prints. If you guys can take your pick and fill your boots. So we're doing Famous Funnies, more specifically the Buck Rogers run of it. But let's take a look at some of the Star Wars, guys. And some of it is still in production. We understand that. These are pre-orders right now that are available on MBartist.com. And they'll be shipping May the 4th. For whatever reason, it seems to be Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. But let's take a look at it. You just saw Bob go by. Oh, there goes Bob again. Lando Calrissian, Bad Deal. I love this one. The Gunslinger, Boba Fett Gunslinger. And the color version just got dropped in my Dropbox the other day of this one, Women of the Force. Darth Vader. Jamie, you want to talk about the Darth Vader?
Oh, yeah. So Vader is, in my opinion, probably the iconic cinematic bad guy. I mean, you can go almost anywhere in the world, say the name Darth Vader, and people know exactly who you're talking about. So when it came to doing the next villain and having a Star Wars themed, I knew exactly who it was going to be. There was a little bit of debate about which one should be the first one, but in the end, Vader was definitely the right choice. And so it was just kind of a representation of the relationship between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. One of brother, mentor, friend, and eventually nemesis. And so this one is just pure rage. Vader melting the late 70s Kenner Obi-Wan toy with the little thing, so the lightsaber came out of his hand, and just using the Force to take out that rage. And that was pretty much like from the beginning to end. Even in the concept sketch, when we talked about it, it was like Rage, and that was the word that just kept coming through all the time. So I was going for that, especially in the color, and the eyes. Really wanted to get it coming out of there too.
And the thing I love about it is we really conveyed that emotion. Like the helmet, if we did the helmet verbatim, there'd be no emotion and it wouldn't work. But we actually borrowed a little bit from the original Ralph McQuarrie design,
the Asian look, samurai look.
Yes, which is really great. And look who just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, and it's the Barbie art director, Miss Francine Delgado. How you doing, Miss Delgado?
Hello. I'm doing fine. Now more better that I'm talking with you, esteemed gentlemen. You see how fancy I sound sometimes?
Well, you may be having a good time now because Joe's not coming on today.
Oh, okay. I was preparing some comebacks from my head. Okay.
There you go. So, Francine, we're just walking through the exclusives for the Series 5 Star Wars, which are now available on MBartist.com and on your website as well. Except for Joe, because he hasn't given me an updated picture yet so that we could do any pre-sales.
He's not here and he's still having something on us.
Yeah. So we got James D. Mulligan's Disney Starlet's Carrie Fisher. That's a cool one. Eric Bravo says your villains are sick, Jamie.
Awesome,
Eric,
thank you.
If you love that one, it's available for pre-sale on MBartist.com. And also,
we have to give them some medicine.
Also, Eric, his Megatron. If you're following the villain series, we also released early his Series 6 villain because it's in such demand. They demanded it. Megatron's on there as well. But John, talk to us about Star Wars #1. I love this piece, even though it's black and white right now.
It's awesome.
Thank you. Well, it's a recreation, reimagining of the first Marvel issue of Star Wars from back when I was a kid, which, in all honesty, I passed on it on the racks originally because I didn't like the cover. And I love what Howie Chaykin does, but I didn't like that. It just didn't grab me. And then I saw the movie and went back and found it on a rack at a store where they didn't get rid of their books. It was a lot of fun to do. I added some stuff that wasn't on the original cover. There's a couple little Easter eggs there. I tried to make the characters look like the actors, and I just gave it my all. And I think it shows that at one point I was like the biggest Star Wars geek in this area. I used to just love it so much, and it's just it was really a labor of love. Steve suggested I do it, and I think it was a good call. I think it's a successful piece.
You know, I guarantee it's a successful piece because every time we show it, I get people on my DM going, "How much is it? How much for the original? I want the original." We've already even got people doing presets, like they're sending Jamie texts. People who come to our Friday toy auctions, they're sending, "Hey, can you put in a couple of John Hebert's art prints in there for me?"
Oh, wow.
So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the numbers when the reports come in next week. It's been really good.
Well, and I've already got a concept for next year, by the way. Next May the 4th.
Awesome. All right, let's scroll along. Here, I'm going to see if my swiping works. Look at that. Oh, we're going to skip Joe. Joe doesn't know what he's doing yet. Oh, we've got Mustafa Musa's The Mandalorian Space Western. Can't wait to see that one in color. And I think that's the last one. But
I see an update of the Mustafa's ink, and it's looking so nice.
Is it?
Yeah. Like I saw like the final ink, no with colors or anything, and the kid, the Baby Yoda kid, looks so nice, like so cute.
Well, what I'd like to do, Eric, if you could just jump back real quick. Francine, I haven't had time to put the colors in yet. You literally just gave it to me yesterday, but let's talk about yours. Women of the Force. What was the inspiration for this?
So Women of the Force, basically what I wanted to do here is like to convey one of these classic Star Wars covers. Like that bad guys are in red, the good guys are kind of in blue, and you have the space, and you have some ships spying and some kind of fight scene going around, but all that, but in a poster with only female Force users. So I pick up like my favorite ones, just because I could. And of course, I love Ahsoka so much that I have like a couple of versions of her. I have like the version of her in the Mandalorian series, and I have also a version of her in the little part going down. That is for Rebels, when she's fighting with the Inquisitors, like the two female Inquisitors. Like, I don't know, I think like all these female characters on Star Wars are very powerful and cute and great to draw. And I add there a couple of Sith Lords, like female Sith Lords, Sith ladies, I guess. And yeah, like the girl, the red girl, is from a video game, and so it's all over the place. You can like the girl with the purple lightsaber is from one of the newest High Republic comics of Star Wars. And I just was like reading a little bit about this character, and I love it. She was supposed to be like she was a Jedi, and she's not a Jedi anymore. She's kind of like a bounty hunter now. So it's very cool, the story behind this character. And I have there like only female Force users, can be on the dark side or on the light side. I don't know.
Now, I don't know if you've looked at your screen, but Eric found the color copy and just threw it up there. So, if I may, here's what I love about it. Look at the gradual, and you did this in your connected piece in the archive, which we'll get to. You got the blues on the top, turning to red tones on the bottom, and then you have all the villains on the left in red tones and turning into blue tones on the good guys on the right side. Very cool. And here's another thing I noticed, Francine. No classic characters.
What is a classic character these days? No, there is Leia. Leia is one of the classic characters. So
Is that Leia? I thought that was Padme.
Padme is not a Force user. She's Leia.
Oh, is that Leia? Okay, I was wrong.
Grand Admiral Leia. Padme. No, I try to go with Leia, but not from the movies, but from the comics. I really like how they draw her puffy body things on the comics. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more anime how they draw it. I don't know. But yeah, I also were trying to go with this kind of like triangle thing over here. So you have like this triangle with the two laser sables, and you have like a bunch of characters there. And then if you follow the eyes, you go Ventress, Ahsoka, Leia, Talon, Rey, Tai, and then you go to this small fight scene here, and it takes you with the fight ship. That, by the way, this is Ventress ship and this is Ahsoka ship, so it's like all tied together.
Well, one thing is for sure. I can't wait to see this in the platinum. I think it's really gonna jump.
Yeah, that's why I put it. That's why I put it in the platinum as a mock-up, because I think this one is gonna look cool in platinum.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's catch up on. We don't have very many questions, but we do have comments. Let's whip through them real quick. Scott Wolchek says Star Wars #1 in black and white is amazing. There you go, John.
Thank you.
Says, that's sick. Luke Holbert says, need you to add John Hebert Star Wars to my stuff. Luke, not a problem. Just DM Jamie. You've got the connection. Nidos Ferris, thank you for joining us, Nidos. From YouTube says, Amazon this artwork. We're working on it. We're working on it. Amazon's got a lot of paperwork, Nido, but we're trying to get it on there. But if you go to MBartist.com, all this stuff is there for you, and you can feel free to fill your boots. But this is very cool. Okay, so we're going to do a very Star Wars theme today, guys. And if you're not going to ask any questions, maybe you might have some Star Wars questions. That'd be great. And here's a question for you specifically, Francine. Basil's going to get the first ticket today. Which one of these Force users was the hardest to draw?
I think maybe Talon, because I never draw her before, so I had to make a lot of research. And you would think like the new girl from the comics, the High Republic Tai, she's also new, but I find a lot of stuff from her, so that was easier. But I think Talon, because I never draw her before, and she's like very sexy at the time. I don't know, she's like sexy, powerful, but like too many things that I want to convey at the same time. So maybe yeah, Talon.
Okay, sounds good. Basil, thank you for the question. You got the first ticket in the draw today. Mustafa says, fill your boots, guys, and wholeheartedly. Mustafa, you got to jump on. We want you to talk about the Mando. All right, so let's flip to the back. So, guys, on the back is we have our archive pieces. And the archive is usually we try to pick 2 to 3. And some of us didn't have archive pieces, so we just created more original artwork. But we're going to walk through them real quick so you guys can see what's available on MBartist.com and in all the separate artist sites. So we got Bob McLeod stuff. Bob McLeod gave us a Star Wars Princess Leia cover. He gave us his cover to Star Wars 86 that he did back in the day, Princess in Peril, and a Yoda that you have to do in his voice to get full appreciation for the title.
Adventure a Jedi cares not these things.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
All right, we got Chad Harden. He's got, of course, Chad Harden. What's Chad Harden without some Harley Quinn? But he did it in Star Wars motif. We got Slave Harley Quinn, Hubba Hudda, and Slave Harley Quinn, Mr. J's Lucky Day. Little heavy metal, Mr. J. And then Francine, we've got your stuff. And here's the great part, guys. Francine did a 3-piece. Not 1, not 2, but 3 connective art prints. We've got the Alpha, which is the Mando, the Beta, which is Ahsoka, and Charlie, which is Skywalker. You want to tell us about this piece, Francine?
So yeah, the piece that you have on screen right now, as Stephen was saying, we were supposed to have these archive pieces from Star Wars, but I have only drawn Star Wars like very few times before now, and the pieces that I had, I didn't love them so much, and honestly, it was like only one Leia in the slave costume. So I thought this idea of why not to have a interconnected poster like the one that you're seeing in screen. And I thought like, yeah, okay, I want to add a lot of characters, but since they have to be like separate posters and I want it to be connected at the same time, I thought of a piece that can be connected, that is like these 3 guys going up here. And you see that the stars like with the dark kind of sky, and it going like all the way to a sunset from the planet that Luke was raised on. And each one of them has like different characters from their own like saga per se. So in this one is like the Mandalorian characters, and this one and the Luke one are like the characters that are more tied down with Luke Skywalker, like his master, his sister, his father / rival. And in the middle one, since I knew I was also working on the other one, I didn't want to go with Ahsoka with all just rebels or all just Clone Wars. So what I did is just like add female Jedi and Sith in that one. So Ventress, that is always very close to her, and this lady over here is also from the new comics High Republic. We have a Rey, and we have this other Master Jedi that is very tied with Ahsoka in the animation as well. So yeah, you put it all together, it makes a beautiful long poster, and you can also keep it separate by having just Mandalorian or the classic Star Wars characters or these female users. So yeah,
you can. Every time I look at the sun behind Luke, I keep thinking that's a Star Destroyer. Is it a Star Destroyer or a cloud?
Like that?
Yeah.
No, it's not, but you can think that.
All right, I think
it wasn't intended to be a Star Destroyer, but yeah, it could be.
Okay, I'm calling it a Star Destroyer. A fluffy Star Destroyer. All right, moving on to the next one. Eric, move on to the next one. Oh, 1 second. Technical difficulties. Inquiring minds want to know. So, guys, we're going to do a theme of Star Wars today. If you have any Star Wars questions you want to ask us, feel free to drop it in. Right now, we have 1 ticket in the draw for 1 question from Basil. So if you guys want to throw some questions, please feel free. But look, John. So guys, for John's archive, I said, John, I want you to give me stuff that we would want to see on really cool box art. And we came up with 3 Star Wars icons: Boba Fett, Darth Vader, and Han and Chewie. You want to walk through these ones? Let's start with the Boba Fett.
Sure. Is it coming up?
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay. Boba Fett is obviously one of the most iconic characters of Star Wars, even though he was only in the first 3 movies for a total of about 15 minutes. He's cool looking. He's mysterious. He's a bad guy. And he's got a lot of cool stuff going about his gear and his ship and whatnot. And one of we're here is the original, which is being inked even as we speak.
Very cool.
Look at that.
Manipulate this. Geez, there it is. I'm having a blast doing it. And once I'm done with this, I never need to draw Slave One again.
Challenge accepted, John.
I also never need to draw the Millennium Falcon again. I love that ship, but I'll tell you what, it's best sitting on my shelf over there. It's not fun to draw. It's a challenge. And after that Star Wars 1 cover with all the little Easter eggs, which are basically ships, by the way, to be a spoiler, I'm worn out. When I'm done with this, I'm not drawing any ships for a while. But
that's okay. I got something in mind for the Series 6 for the Ultracon exclusive.
Okay, but I think it looks really good. I'm pleased with it. I've been getting good feedback and very happy, as well as the one that I'm inking even as we speak right now. My brush is dashing over the page for the next one. So,
can you give us a sneak peek? I got a feeling he comes with a ventilator.
Do we have the music? Dun 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 dun
oh,
dun dun.
So
dun,
cool.
dun, 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 dun. There it is.
You know that's going to be so sick with the Reds.
That's what I'm hoping. I just hope it.
And all those, the Boba Fett and the Darth Vader, those originals will be available for sale, as well as the Star Wars #1, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so we teased Boba Fett. We teased Darth Vader. What can you tell us? We have a really quick sketch here, but you were saying that you've already reconfigured how you're visioning this one.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I was stealing Jamie's idea with the action figure, which I thought would have been hilarious. Han snapping the head off a Lando figure, or Chewie snapping the head off Boba Fett and Han putting the Lando figure in the carbon freeze toy. I thought that would have been hilarious, but calmer heads prevailed. Instead, it is going to be a Han gambling, mischievous, atmospheric piece with aliens and Chewie and gambling and maybe a little subtle humor.
Cool. Well, we look forward to it. Let's hope Han knows his limit in the game.
You will see that in pencil, hopefully this time next week.
Awesome. All right. So we got James C. Mulligan's archive. He's got some cool stuff. Darth Vader, Sith Lord of the Empire. He's got Princess Leia Enchantment. And he's got the Mandalorian Bounty Hunter. That Mandalorian is sick. That is cool. I love that one. Speaking of which, James is texting me. James, jump on. Mr. Coker, we've got your archive here. You want to walk us through this and give us some insights on these?
Oh, yeah. So the Darth Maul, that's actually one that I've recolored because I wasn't quite satisfied with the first version of it. So went back and redid it. Originally done as a piece to in preparation for a show that Ray Park was going to be at. So that's where that one came from. Went way heavier on the Reds on that one. Thrawn is just a badass. I mean, he's the kind of guy that, yeah, I don't need to beat you with my hands. I can just beat you with my mind. I know what you're going to do before you do it. And everything is going to go badly for you once I'm on you. He's so methodical, so cut and dry, but I just love how I have no other words but badass. And I just wanted to just kind of put that smirk on his face, just knowing that he's already beat you. Just before you even had a notion of thought. The last one there is all the Star Wars cuties. So it's like, you know, a lot of the creatures that you see in the Star Wars movies and you just love them. Everyone from Babu Frick, who was didn't get enough screen time, in my opinion. Grogu to BB-8 to you know, the Ewoks. Yes, the Porgs. Even though I reluctantly put them in there. The Kyros birds, the Loth cats. Everyone loves R2D2. The Jawas, even though they're disgusting without the robes on, had to give them all a little bit of shine on that one.
Cool.
Where's Jar Jar?
No. Mm-mm. No.
Misa, stupid character.
So let's walk through Mustafa's real quick. Mustafa has Darth Maul, Sith Wielder. We have Star Wars, Ahsoka, Leia, and Rey. And Star Wars, Force Unleashed. Sorry about that, guys. I got to learn how to turn off my R2 unit here. And then, of course, I've got my stuff, which I haven't even started yet because I've been so busy trying to get everybody else pulled together. But if you have any ideas of Star Wars imagery you'd like to see, feel free to drop those in the comments, and maybe you'll give me some ideas. But Josh wants everybody to know that he just mailed out his pre-sale newsletter to our subscribers of our growing May the 4th collection. And there's the link if you want to check it out, guys. Very cool. We're very excited to start sharing finished product with our May the 4th lineup for you guys. But I see a question. Luke Holbrook wants to know, as much as I like Star Wars, is there anything else you are working on that we can show or talk about? It's funny you should say that. Guys, yesterday, what did I finally get done? I shared my screen. Let's see if Eric can throw it up there. So, guys, August 28th and 29th, we are going to be at UltraCon. And Irving had said, Steven, I want you guys to do something that is exclusive. And we said, well, we do what's called a Golden Age tribute. And he said, I love Captain Marvel. And I said, well, you know what? We're going to take a whiz at UltraCon. And
there you go.
So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, is I picked 10 covers. And then on Tuesdays, I actually have one-on-one conversations with all of our fabulous artists. And I got them to pick them. And we've got 5 covers. And as you can see, we've got names beside each one. So, guys, how about we walk through these real quick? Since Luke asked, Jamie, why did you pick 86?
A couple reasons. Dr. Savannah is on the cover, and I am a big fan of monsters and giant robots and things like that. So when I saw that Captain Marvel was punching the robot, I just was like, this is definitely in my wheelhouse. My interest level went up another 10 points. I just know I'm gonna have fun with that one.
And I know that when you picked it, the first thing that came to my head. Now, if you go in close, you'll see that the robot has like a huge light bulb for a nose, and all I could think about is the game Operation. So, if he could get that light bulb just to go off as Marvel's like socking it to him, I think that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah.
So Jamie picked 86, which is a very cool robot cover. John, you're done. You were so excited about it. He said, Steve, I want this one. I'm gonna have it done to you before you know it. And
my eyes are on
Sorry,
you,
Francine.
Yes, there was a fight. John had it done before I even had the 10 covers selected. He picked number 22, and everybody else was like, can I do 22? I was like, nope, already done. What was your thoughts on number 22? Why did you pick 22, John?
I just loved it. It's iconic. I mean, Cap and Billy on the top of the mountain with the lightning and the clouds and whatnot, but I wanted real lightning instead of the, basically the emblem from his chest projected in the sky. I just wanted to take what was there already great and add to it a little bit, tweak it, put it on steroids, whatever. And, it's funny, when I was drawing it, I kept hearing the theme from the TV show, and I was looking for that GMC, RV to be driving up that hill. I should have put that in as an Easter egg, but I couldn't do it. I love that piece.
And your timing's impeccable, ladies and gentlemen. DC and Marvel inker Mustafa Musa has joined us.
Hi.
Fashionably late, pulling a Rubenstein.
No. I have more hair.
Wow.
Just because he is not here to defend himself.
I tell him all the time.
Well, your timing is perfect. We're talking about the UltraCon exclusives, and Irving personally selected Wiz Comics, and you and Francine are doing a tag team combo. Francine on pencils, you on inks, and you guys selected number 53. Anybody want to explain why?
Go for it.
Well, probably. I really, really want to do number 22, as you mentioned, but don't already finish it. But the reason of why I wanted to do that is because I thought hilarious that you have both. Since he's the same character, I wanted to have them both in the same cover. So that's why 22 was like obvious. You have Billy and you have Captain Marvel. And they were like, no, that was perfect. So I started looking through all the other ones, and I found this other one, 53, that I thought, oh, this is pretty fun because you don't have them. It's not only Billy and Captain Marvel in the same cover, but they are actually fighting each other. So like, yeah, they are the same person, but they are not. Oh, so I thought like this is pretty cool, and I like this as a starting point, but I really didn't want to do exactly that. I want to have them just like fighting, like more like seeing each other, like, hey, you live your life and I live my life, and the other one like, no, you listen to me. So I want to become this is quarrel between these two guys that are like the same guy but different guys in the same body. And I have other ideas, and I also show Mustafa other ideas. And so at the end, I think like this one was the strongest, and the other one has like more buildings and more stuff that probably was gonna be cooler for Mustafa to ink. Sorry, but this one is gonna be cool. I'm already did some layouts and sketches, and I have it like in this early point, and I'm adding a CD too. So you see, it's gonna be interesting to very
Yeah, there
it's
it
gonna be
is.
interesting to do. But
That already looks so fun.
thank you. This is what I wanted to do. It's more like a real fight between these two, and I wanted to have like this impostor, bigger, great figure, like having Captain Marvel like very big, and having Billy like very squantled kid, like skinny kid, and yeah, I'm still working on it, but kind of like what you're saying is what I'm trying to go for it. I'm curious. There is no chicks on this cover. Like, where are the women of this cover? Funny.
It's Golden Age.
Hey, I always have some woman there, but in this one I couldn't. It didn't make sense for the story that I want to tell with the cover. So
You're gonna have to tap into your inner testosterone. That's all.
yeah, it's getting interesting drawing all those muscles in a very tight fit.
I do have one request. Do me a favor and finish the building on the left side so that we can do the Virgin variant without the trade dress.
Oh, just finish the building. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
I draw. Well, you have to ink more, Mustafa.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind. Honestly, it could be just you like drawing a paper sack, and I'd want to work with you on it, so it's okay.
Oh
no, I didn't mean it like that, but it's fine. It's fine.
Mustafa, when she said, "Hey, Mustafa, what do you think of these?" What were your thoughts?
Honestly, all of them looked so good, and like she said, like there was the cover that we wanted to do that, like I think would have been really fun, but this one I think really kind of shows off her strengths, you know. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
The one thing I find that Francine really thrives on that not a lot of artists are able to do is that she can bring a lot of personality in subtlety.
Yep.
If you look at her pieces like the Champions 3-way where they're all on top of the building, if you look at her Roller Derby Girls, she has a great strength in terms of telling story with simple stories.
A great storyteller. Yeah. An economy of line. Like she doesn't need like a bunch of lines to tell a story, and I really love that. Yeah. It's something that you either have or you don't. I don't know if you can learn that.
No, it's almost like and maybe it's the animation background, but it's like you could tell that she's playing a scene in her head when she's drawing. And we're all talking about her as if she's not here. She's right there.
There was a comment from a girl that is super sweet on Instagram, and she followed me and post stuff, and she told me today that she really wants how I get sassiness in the characters, and I told her, oh, that makes my day, because I always try to tell a story. That's why I was saying, okay, if what can suit the story that I want to tell here in this moment is like you have a fight between the super almighty Captain Marvel and little tiny little Billy. So it's like if this can convey that, like they are fighting about like, no, this is my life, no, this is my life, and if you can feel that, I feel like the work is done. Thank you, guys.
Just out of curiosity, is Billy's finger going to be in his chest? Like, is he like doing it right in his chest?
Yeah, and I wanted to have like sparkle, like little sparkle, like like when he's touching like the emblem and like some sparkle thing. Yeah.
Like electric,
yeah, like little electricity.
Yeah.
So it's like a subtle sub story.
It's a mini Shazam.
You got it.
Very cool. Basil has a question for you specifically, Jamie, and this will be Basil's Basil, you're dominating the questions today. Jamie, will you do a villain art inspired by the Wiz cover?
Oh, I could see it. Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Anyways, there's food for thought from Basil. Basil, you got 2 tickets. Scott has a question. Actually, guys, Scott's going to be serious for a second. He says, it's not a Star Wars question, but a question regarding starting the comic. A friend and I have written a comic, and I've sketched the covers. The copyrights are being done as we speak, but I'm going to be looking for an artist to do the inside work. So my question is this. If I was to approach an artist for this workload, how would you want to be approached?
Do 5 pages of the most exciting sequence. Do a cover image or splash page, and then shop that around.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess like if what he's asking is like how can he approach to an artist with this project? If it's that, I will present. I will just like talk to the artist. I don't know if you have it in social media or whatever. That he know that you're a writer, that you have this story, that you have a script, and you are looking for an artist to work 5 or 6 pages, as Mustafa was saying, and that you want to know if this person is interested. But yeah, that's for the whole 22 pages.
The thing is, like early on, especially if it's an untested artist, you don't want to just confirm and get like a whole book with somebody you never worked with, because like you might get 3 or 4 pages back and you're like, ooh, this is not going the way I want. So you don't want to like overcommit the artist, and the artist doesn't want to overcommit, and then all of a sudden, you have a bad marriage and you just have to like write it out, or you end up getting screwed over as far as not getting the pages, because I've heard this story multiple times. So 5 pages gets you an idea of what it'll look like, and it's not a crazy commitment, and then you go from there.
Scott, go ahead, Francie.
When a writer approached me in this capacity, you as an artist know like who is being serious and who is just like, hey, I have this idea and I want to do this. But if you see like, oh, this is a serious writer that really wants to pitch his book, and so you get that sense, and you usually send them some of your pages so they can see. But you can even start testing the artist to see if it's gonna work with. Asking him or paying him to do some characters. If you don't have the characters, like, okay, these are my characters, how would you develop these characters? So you can have an idea, okay, he's gonna draw my characters like that. I like this, yes or not. Or just go straight for a couple of pages and just pay him for a couple of pages, and you see if that's what you need.
And Scott, I think it's very important to keep in mind that you want to make sure you approach an artist that is going to reflect the stylization and the vision that you want to convey in your story. So I would say if you see there's 3 interior artists right here. You got John Hebert, you've got Francine Delgado, and Mustafa. I'm sure Mustafa is willing to do inks. If you check out their websites and you love their styles, feel free to DM me, and I can help you out and maybe connect you with some of our artists and just go from there. But you've got some really great next steps here to consider. And thank you for the question. You get a ticket, my friend, into the draw. That gives us 3.
And what Steven was saying is really, really important. When someone has a story they want to tell, not all the artists are the right artists for all the stories. You have to take in mind what is the story you want to tell, who is the public that you want to go with this story, and what type of art goes along with that story you want to tell. Think on that.
John, do you have anything you want to add?
Just have a cogent proposal. Be concise. What you want, what you need, what style you're looking at. Certainly, what the financial part of it is. Basically like that. Have a realistic plan of, when this needs to be done, what needs to be done, and hello. What was that?
I don't know. That was interesting. That was interesting. Somebody was trying to reach out for you through the ether. All right, so let's get Wiz out of here. Wiz is coming up. Anyways, that was for you, Luke. Luke, thank you very much. We're going to give you a ticket as well into the draw. That was a very cool question. So that's what we got coming up for UltraCon, guys. Let's go back and, guys, I want to talk about Star Wars since we're going to be diving deep into Series 5. And I want to talk about the first time, like whether it was like me, for me, my first experience with Star Wars is I don't really remember the first one. I was 2 when it came out, but apparently I saw it in the drive-in. I stayed awake for the whole thing, but I do remember seeing The Empire Strikes Back vividly and being so traumatized by the Han Solo dropping. No, every time I remember being a kid, every time watching Empire, no. And it's the only movie where I think I peaked out after the Hoth battle. I like that was amazing. Like usually a big battle that would be reserved for the third act, you got it right in the end of the first act. But anyways, I want to hear from you guys. What was your first experience and introduction to Star Wars, Jamie?
Okay, so I was not initially into Star Wars as a kid, but I do remember I had this Millennium Falcon, man. The original one that came out, missing so many of the pieces. The satellite was gone. The back roof part was gone. The interior was gone. The gun on the top gone. There were so many things that were gone. Even the landing gear on the bottom that helped it stand up, gone. But I love that thing so much, and I used it to play with like G.I. Joe, Transformers, even my Masters of the Universe. Somehow the Millennium Falcon was involved with all of it, and I don't know how I integrated it, but it was. And I just loved trying to make like Cobra was constantly trying to steal the Millennium Falcon from G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe was like launching assaults to get it back and all this other stuff. It was ridiculous. My imagination was way out of whack, but I loved it. And then the movies, when I finally watched the movies, I was fascinated with Han Solo getting frozen in carbonite. That was like the coolest thing to me. Like other people were sad about it. I was like, no, this is amazing. How do you freeze a human? So I'm sure at some point I took the figure, threw him in the freezer and in a cup of water, froze that thing, and
I did that to Lando for revenge.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Imagination just boom. Yeah. Love those.
I want to know how to do that to kids for bedtime. Get in the carbonite. It's bedtime, damn it.
Hey, that'd come in handy here.
Somebody should invent it. Think of that.
Lawrence Kasdan was probably like, you know what, my kids are driving me crazy. If I could freeze them, that's a great plot line. How about you, John?
I was in sixth grade, and obviously a big comic fan and whatnot. And one of my best friends came in one day and said, "Hey, I saw this preview for this movie over the weekend. It's called Star Wars, and it looks great." And I said, sci-fi, because at that point, being older, I've been through the times when sci-fi was usually crap. The effects weren't up to what they are now, and I just figured out it's going to be just another throwaway that'll be on cable in a year or two, on Saturday nights. Well, he's like, and he was trying to draw. There's a ship that looked like this, the ship that looked like that. And he was trying to draw it on the board. Yeah, okay, fine. So then a week or two went by, and I saw a commercial for it. I said, "Oh, geez, that looks neat." But again, sci-fi. I'm figuring most of the stuff that comes out is just direct. So then there was a weekend. It was the first weekend Star Wars was open, and we didn't have a lot of money, and grew up without a dad. My mother and I used to go to a lot of movies when we could. And she said, "Let's go to a movie this weekend. The weather's crap." Okay, fine. So we went to the Cinemaplex, which was all the 6 theaters at that point. And what's playing? Oh, there's that Star Wars. Okay, we haven't seen that. And everything else was not interesting, so we went. And I noticed that there was a little kiosk in this theater that was selling buttons and mugs and things. Okay. And about 15 minutes into the thing, I said to my mother, "Can I go buy a button?" I was hooked. And then when Han and Chewie came in, I was blown away, and the Millennium Falcon and all the tech stuff. I'm like, I got to draw this. So I was hooked from that point. And then when Empire came out, I was at the end of my freshman year in high school. And I'm the guy who went out and bought the Marvel Super Special magazine at the comic shop and read the story before he saw the movie and went, "Oh my God, this has only got to be part one. There's got to be another issue that's coming out next month. They can't leave this hanging for 4 years." I hated when they left Han like that. I'm like, "Oh my God, I could be dead before the next one comes out." I've said that so many times. There were people who never got to see how that came out because they died in those 4 years. Oh, well, it's like a serial. Yeah, but the next part's not next weekend. So that's the kind of guy I am as far as Star Wars. And I did go to my office the first Halloween I had to work at my current job. We came in costume, a bunch of us, and I wore my Darth Vader suit with a sign on the chest that said, "Greetings, I'm the ultimate evil." And then when people would say, "What's that about?" I'd take the hood off or the helmet off, and underneath I was Richard Nixon. So there you go. That's my story. That's my story.
Star Wars and political humor. Gotta love it. Mustafa.
Wow.
So I was a little too young for the first couple Star Wars movies, but was it Return of the Jedi? I remember seeing that. I was, I don't know, 3 or 4. And as soon as the credits start opening up, the opening credits, I pretty much fell asleep. I remember that. And I woke up just in time for the Ewoks dancing. And like in my best 3 or 4-year-old, brain, I was like, what the hell was I watching? Because like if you just see that and you see the Ewoks dancing, you're like, what movie is this? To be honest, I was more of an Indiana Jones fan. Of course, I didn't know at the time it was the same guys, same studio, but I could relate to Indiana Jones. I couldn't really relate to Star Wars so much. And then just by nerd osmosis, you grow up around a bunch of guys who keep talking about the Star Wars thing, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Of course, like I liked the stuff before they started adding all these little extra, the 97 re-releases, where you see like Han Solo walking on like, what's his name's tail? That was weird. Jabba, yeah. It's so weird, but like I'm old enough to remember the original like intent, the way it was, how Han Solo was kind of a badass. He was the one who shot first, and that's why they, have the memes and the t-shirts and everything. So like I have a fondness for that stuff before he went back and tried to, fix his, mistakes in his opinion.
Anybody here ever see the TV cut from when they first ran it on network where Jabba was in it and it wasn't the digitized version? It was just
the fat guy with the big, yeah. I saw the clip. Yeah.
Francine.
Okay, I think same as Jamie and Mustafa, I wasn't fun when I was a little kid about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like I just remember it as one of the movies that my dad used to watch on TV when they put it on the local, not cable but regular TV that we have back then, and it just seemed super boring to me because I don't know. I like more like I didn't like sci-fi when I was a little kid. I like more like other stuff, and but I didn't like Transformers, so I don't know. That's very sci-fi too. Well, anyhow, I was not into Star Wars when I was a little kid, and I didn't remember to know exactly what it was about. Probably, I remember that my dad wanted me to watch the first one with him, and I didn't really understand it or whatever. So I never watched like the other ones. And then I watched Toy Story, and then finally I watched Star Wars, and I thought like they were copying Toy Story. That sounds stupid, I know. Like when the guy says like I'm your father, and like like Toy Story. And my friend gave me the face like, are you serious thinking that? No, I'm not. But I swear that I thought that for a couple of seconds. Like, are they copying Toy Story? And no, this is way older. Like, okay. So that's how much I was not into Star Wars when I was growing up. And then, to be completely honest, what take me, and then they released like the 1, 2, and 3, and that was horrible. And then they did Clone Wars, like the first time they did Clone Wars, the animated version with the guy from Samurai Jack, Randy
Getty?
Tarparotti.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tarkovsky.
yeah, the last name is, oh my god. But then that thing was like so good, so well done. The line was so amazing, the action, and I saw like Master Windu defeating like a bazillion of guys in 2 seconds, and that fight was amazing. And I was like, oh, is this freaking Star Wars? I love this shit. Why was never so good as this? And that got me into it. And then I started wanting to read more, and I even read like I don't know fanfic and stuff. And I want to know more about that universe. And I went back and watched the movies with a whole new perspective. And I still hate 1, 2, and 3. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that was the thing that got me into when I see like, oh my god, these freaking Jedi's are really like super powerful. That was
Okay. We're going to do a reset. We've been, this is the end of our first hour here on MBartistAlley.live. So we're going to do a reset. It's 4 o'clock here in the Great White North, Eastern Standard Time. I know it's different times for everybody else. Like literally Francine just ate her Cheerios. But let's re-tee it up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. You can watch us on 3 ways: on YouTube, on Facebook, or on the Collector's Toy Shop. And we have featured our prints because that's what we do. We draw and we like it. So we have featured our prints, and we're going to walk through them real quick. And there's 3 ways you can get these art prints, and we'll talk about that in a second. First, we've got Bob McLeod, and he better hurry up, or else he's not going to be able to use his 12 minutes. Oh.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah, that was so there you
Special
go.
guest appearance by Asia.
Number 2 is Chad Hardin's Marilyn Manson, Some Like It Rot. Francine, talk to me about this one.
okay. This came out of my crazy idea of doing mashups of properties that I like. And I grew up loving Sailor Moon. I don't think like a lot of our viewers are Sailor Moon lovers, but I freaking love that TV show. that want me to start drawing again. When I just stopped drawing, I watched the show. And like, I want to grow up to do this stuff. And then I have always loved Batman. Batman is I think it's my favorite character from the comics. And everybody love it, but I really like it, and I love the bad characters that Batman universe produced. And these 2 ladies, Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. She starts a bad girl. She's not a good girl, but she starts a bad girl. These 2 ladies are great together, and this is part of the mashup that I did. What will happen if you have these 2 universes collide them? So it's like Sailor Sailor Harley and Sailor Pamela.
There we go. And then the next one is Jamie Coker's Jack Skellington. We've got James C. Mulligan's Stitch Tiki Trouble.
So cute.
Joe Rubenstein's Vampirella.
Sexy.
John Hebert, Elektra, Dressed to Kill. Mustafa, talk to me about this one.
So let's see. Do you have part 2, or is that a separate thing?
That'll probably be next week.
That'll be next week. Okay. All right. So let's see. There was a guy that I was working with for about 10 years. His name's Nadir Balan. He's really, really talented artist. We worked with a lot of publishers who were, what's the word? Shady. And would take a long time to pay, and sometimes they wouldn't pay. And we were doing just amazing work for like a decade. And we started going to cons, and we're like, man, there's a lot of Harley fans out there. And we were just like, what about if we just make it rain Harleys? And so like we did all of the costumes. So this is only half. We did all of the costumes that she'd worn over the years, which at that point, it was 5 years ago. At that point was still a lot. And she's got, probably double that now. And, I thought the idea is to make it make sense, they should be in an insane asylum. That's why the padded cell behind, so it's like it's kind of all of her different personalities. But of course, you got to have, classic Harley front and center. So that's why she's in the middle there. And so this is one half. And then the second half is it's a huge, image of 10 different Harleys, 10 outfits.
And you guys can get both of them on MBartist.com. And the last one is my Crypt Keeper from back in the day. So, guys, those are our featured art prints. There's 3 ways to get featured art prints. Number 1, you ask a question. We answer it. You get a ticket into a draw. And you can win one of your choice at the end of the show. Number 2, you say, I don't want to wait. You put in claim whichever one you want. And the lovely Jamie or Lovejeet will take care of you out in the pit. Or number 3, you go to MBartist.com. You can fill your boots with any one of these, whether it's fine art, platinum, or canvas, and you put in the promo code, very complicated, free shipping, and you will get free shipping. So those are our featured prints. And speaking of questions, we've got one from Scott. Scott asks, if you could work on any character story from the Star Wars universe that has not been done, which character would it be? Mustafa.
Oh, shoot, me first. Honestly, I don't know what characters haven't been touched. And I was thinking about this, and I was like, what about Luke's adopted parents? Like, maybe they got a story to tell. Maybe it's interesting. I don't know. Honestly, I was trying to think of somebody who isn't obvious,
2 hours of Uncle Owen.
Well, okay, so maybe he was some badass bounty hunter, and then he went to the desert planet island thing because he needed to like escape from like captors, and then he's like, oh, this guy Luke, I'll take him on. I don't know. It might be interesting.
All right, so Mustafa wants the step parents.
I don't. I just had to think of something that nobody's ever told a story of.
Yeah, it's just answering the question. Which
Who's
character
left?
has not been done yet?
Yeah, who's left?
We would learn that Aunt Brew is actually lactose intolerant.
Who's left?
Blue milk, right?
Blue milk.
Yeah.
Francine.
I don't know. I would like to know what's the story with this chick. Oh my God, the captain, something like the girl from Game of Thrones that.
Oh, Phasma.
Yeah, they barely
Yeah,
in the movie
that's a
like
good
for
one.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
she's supposed to be some badass, and then she like dies halfway through the series. Yeah,
this
that's
was
a better
super
answer.
badass. So
That's a better answer.
give me the story of that chick, how she became badass.
Yeah.
Or give me a what if. What if instead of Luke adopted parents and the queen that raised Leia, what if Ahsoka raised those 2 kids from Anakin? That would be a cool story. Imagine that. Leia probably would be also a Jedi. So just leave it there.
What if? All right, so Francine wants to do what if. So we got foster parents. What if Ahsoka raised Leia and Luke? And John says,
Well, we all love monsters. How about the Wampa?
The Wampa.
Just a monster stalking the snow-covered planet, just trashing anything and anybody that he comes across. Just a berserk 2 hours.
You know, when you said that, I just thought of like the Wampa doing like an interview, like on what's that TV show from Modern Family? You got the Wampas. All I wanted was some food, dude.
There you go.
Jamie.
I need to feed my family.
Let's see. The correct answer is Barriss Offee. She betrays Ahsoka. She sets her up to make her look like she betrayed the Jedi. And then she's taken away. But we don't know what happens to her after that. We know she goes to prison. But rumor has it she becomes one of the Inquisitors. Does this really happen? That's what I would like to know. That's the story I would like to tell.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, and if she's an Inquisitor, which one of the... Well, we never saw it on Rebels. What happened with that lady, too?
Exactly.
I want to know now.
Exactly. She's
go.
probably
That's
the most...
off the board. I'm going to go off the board, too, and I'm going to pick... Cool. I'm going to go off the board.
You got frozen.
Did I get frozen?
You got frozen for a second. What'd you say?
And carbonite.
I'm gonna go off the board. When I was
Carbonite.
there was a gap there where after Jedi there was nothing. There was nothing. And then in 1991, Timothy Zahn released Heir to the Empire. And other than Grand Admiral Thrawn, there's another character that everybody just went nuts for. And I think that story, in terms of how she became the Emperor's right hand, that nobody ever heard of, and ended up marrying Luke Skywalker in the expanded universe, and that is Mara Jade. I think that
but she's not canon anymore, right?
No, but I want to tell the story that would be canon.
Okay. So like where she ended up, like that's why she's not around anymore, that kind of thing?
Well, essentially you could just basically do she's supposed to be like this ultra spy secret weapon.
Yeah.
That was handpicked by the Emperor. That's why she got the right hand. Like, obviously, they basically eliminate her from ever marrying Luke or having kids. But still, that's a very cool character that hasn't been – her shoulder hasn't been tapped for the new canon whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 o'clock. Set the timer. 12 minutes.
Hello, everyone. What's been going on?
Hi,
How you doing, Mr. McLeod?
Oh, man.
I was working and just realized what time it was.
Well, that's good because we'll get you to actually close to the end of the show.
Close.
It's what? Oh, is it slowing me down? Oh, okay, sorry about that. Let me end that. That's my fault, guys. All right. Mr. McLeod, how are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good.
There we go.
Steve, guess what I'm working on?
Danny Moonstar.
You got
Oh, my God.
See, I got ESPN.
You must be so happy. Like
it's
Phil.
actually all of the New Mutants.
Oh, okay.
Whenever
Can you show it off?
Yeah, you want to show it?
Uh-oh.
Let me just show you the original.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
So they wanted something similar to the graphic novel cover. So that's
cool.
what I'm giving them.
I will be very happy.
We'll see.
So, Bob, we were just showing off all the Series 5 Star Wars stuff. We just went through all the featured art prints again, and we had a question from Scott of if you could work on any character in the Star Wars universe that hasn't been told, what story would you tell?
Oh, that hasn't been told.
So far, Mustafa picked the foster parents.
I was struggling to think of who hasn't had a story told.
Francine said, "What if Ahsoka raised the Skywalker twins?" John says he wants 2 hours of a raging mad wampa. Jamie picked a character from Clone Wars, and everybody was like, "Okay." And I went off, and I
like
picked,
it.
you okay? Sorry, Francine liked
Thank
it.
you, Francine. Thank you.
And I picked
Oh,
Mara
no.
Jade. And I picked Mara Jade from the Timothy Zahn novels that hasn't been brought into new canon.
I think I would like to do Han Solo as a child.
Ooh,
Oh,
That's good.
Now, would you follow loosely what they kind of established at the beginning of the Solo movie, or would you go completely your own idea?
Well, I haven't seen the Solo movie.
you and
It'd
everybody
be
know.
tough to follow it, but I might look at it to see what they did and then decide.
Cool. I think that's a good pick. Scott says, so Scott, that was a great question. We're going to give you a ticket into the draw. And he says, mine is Mace surviving the Emperor amid saving Grogu.
Hey,
where
how
they
about
went
how about
after.
how about Greedo's story until he walks into the bar?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Cool. I think I'm having Wi-Fi problems. You kind of chopped up on me. So anyways, Bob, here's another question. What was your first experience with Star Wars?
My first experience was seeing the movie. They paid for all of the Marvel staff to go see the movie when it first came out. So we kind of went en masse to the movie theater and were blown away.
Where was that, Bob?
It would have been probably a theater around 57th Street and Madison Avenue, whatever's closest. I think it was maybe Park Avenue, a little bit south of there. I don't remember exactly. I know we walked to the theater from
Was
the
it one of the great big old Manhattan theaters at the time?
Yeah, it was huge. Marvel used to be on Madison and 57th.
Yes.
So I think it was a Lowe's theater. I don't know. It was too long ago.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I figured out what my problem was. It was me.
John was saying before that when he went to watch the movie, he didn't believe it was gonna be good because sci-fi wasn't good at the time. Did you have this kind of like the same experience, or you knew that it was gonna be good?
No, we had no high expectations at all. That's why we were blown away. It was so much better than anybody expected.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
that ship just coming in from the beginning, it just kept going and going and going and going. We were just there with our mouths open.
I mentioned before when I went, I just went cold basically, and just to see a movie. And I noticed they had a kiosk in the lobby selling buttons and stuff. And gee, this is sci-fi. This is going to do nothing. And after within the first 15 minutes, I said to my mother, "Mom, can I have some money to buy a button?" It just grabbed me.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we knew it was going to be something special, or else why would they be taking us to see it? But still, there was nothing to compare it to at the time. There was nothing to base our expectations on.
Right.
So from what I've heard, because I don't, I wasn't around, but like from what I heard, Marvel getting the rights to do Star Wars really helped save Marvel Comics in the late 70s.
Shooter said that.
I'm sorry?
Shooter said that a bunch of times.
Yeah. So like, maybe that was part of why they had you guys go out, because they're like, crap, we need to support this thing.
I don't know. When I got into business around 74, there were serious discussions about the comic business just going under in a few years. So Marvel and DC were having all kinds of problems, financial problems. So I never heard specifically that Star Wars saved Marvel, but could well be.
I think that the newer kids in generation don't appreciate how different Star Wars was. Like you're talking about that opening shot where the Star Destroyer just comes in and goes and goes and goes.
Game changer.
Yeah, but I don't think kids today understand because they look at that and they're like, all right.
You can see that on TV every week now on various shows, but at the time, there was nothing like that. The closest thing to it was probably Logan's Run a year or two before, and that doesn't.
Compare it to Star Trek. You know, that's basically what we were expecting was more Star Trek.
Right.
Oh, really?
Right.
And Star Trek was a slow pace, right?
Yeah, slow pace characters, you know, all about people standing around talking with rubber heads on, and you know,
it was very static. The camera shots and stuff. It was a very idealized future. It wasn't a very lived-in, dirty, grimy future.
Right, and that was the other thing. Star Wars it was high tech, but it looked like people worked on these things and lived on these things.
Yeah.
So would you say that up to that point, the golden age aesthetic of science fiction basically continued right up until 77?
Pretty much. I mean, they were trying. There were attempts to make stuff look different and to grab people. 2001 is visually stunning, but it's unfortunately boring. Logan's Run, they tried, but you know, they filmed it in a shopping mall. People weren't willing to open the wallet to spend the money for the effects and whatnot.
Well, and then after Star Wars, you got Ridley Scott coming in with Alien and Blade Runner, which is like a very identifiable, like we can relate to it,
Yeah. Well, if you talk to Ridley Scott, he'll tell you that Alien, the seeds for Alien came out of his viewing of Star Wars and his jealousy that George Lucas could come up with something so unique.
Yeah.
He basically said, "Oh yeah, hold my beer." And I guess so. Here's the thing, and I wasn't there. I was too young to remember as well. But so let's use Star Wars as the flagpole, because obviously after all the clones came out, you had Buck Rogers, you had Battlestar Galactica,
Battlestar Insomnia.
You had Tron. I guess Tron you could slot it in, but you had all these Star Wars clones that just we tried to race out to get them out, but they came back with a Flash Gordon. In
Moonraker. They skipped the Bond movie they were going to do.
They made Bond in space. Yep.
So if we use that as the flag point going backwards, what was the last equivalent going into Star Wars? Because that's what I want to know is like, what was the last movie equivalent to Star Wars before it? Because I'm trying to gauge in my mind how blown away it was.
Well, I remember being much earlier and really impressed with Fantastic Planet. You know, Robbie the Robot. I thought those were, at the time, cool effects, but I was pretty young.
What year was Forbidden Planet? Is that like late 60s?
Oh, wasn't it in the 50s?
50s.
So basically what we're saying is that before Star Wars, all you had was like The Day the Earth Stood Still, Forbidden Planet, that type of stuff, right?
Pretty much.
Well, and a lot of the inspiration for Star Wars was like Westerns and, Japanese movies, Kurosawa and stuff. Like it just happened to take place in space.
And the first 5 issues of Fantastic Four, Lucas admitted that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zardos. There you go.
Woo!
Yeah.
What year was Logan's Run? Was that before?
That was after.
It was like a year after.
Yeah, so that would be like piggybacking off of it, right?
Logan was first because the comic was even out.
Was it earlier?
Yeah, because I remember when Star Wars came out, I was raving about it in school, and somebody going, "Well," I said, "Ben dies. Is Ben a Sandman?" Because that was the only sci-fi reference, recent, fairly big budget, different look sci-fi movie that people could relate to at that point. It had been out, yeah.
So Logan's Run was before it was, and you said 2001 was the Kubrick one before?
Yeah, that was 67.
Oh yeah.
67.
I don't find it boring either. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
It's good, but I just mean it doesn't have the pace of a Star Wars or something.
No, it doesn't. Kids could not relate to it at all. No jump cuts and slow motion and stuff.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people could relate to it.
Oh, it's like a good movie. It's the blueprint for sci-fi movies.
We had Space 1999 on syndicated TV, and that looked good, but that was kind of dry too. and had really bad rubber masks.
Would Lost in Space be in around that time too?
That was way before.
That was in the early 60s, I think.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
here's a question. We're going a little bit off topic. Is Robbie? So we have Robbie the robot was in Lost in Space. What was the robot in Forbidden Planet?
Robot.
Just robot?
No, I think he had a name, didn't he?
Was it Herbie?
No.
That's Love Bug.
Oh, wait.
I don't know. I have to watch it again, but I think he had a name.
If anybody knows out there, drop it into the comments. But here's my question: was the robot from Forbidden Planet replicated? They look very similar in Lost in Space.
That was probably deliberate.
Sure it was.
Cool. All right. So we see Star Wars. Star Wars comes out of it. Did you think there would be a sequel?
Oh yeah. When they couldn't get the merchandising out fast enough for Christmas, and they were selling those Star Wars envelopes, which most of you probably don't remember. There was an envelope that you could buy with pictures, painted pictures of the action figures that were going to come out on it, and you got a stand-up picture of them all lined up, and you got a certificate saying that when they came out, you were going to get the first of them. I knew that it was insane. And, people started quoting the movie and whatnot. And there was no question there was going to be a sequel. It was only a question of when.
I'm trying to remember.
It wasn't fast enough.
I'm trying to remember if maybe they planned the trilogy from the get-go and they were intended to have 3 movies right out of the gate.
I don't think so.
Well, I do know that Fox basically owned Star Wars, and when it became but they only wanted the one. They didn't believe in it, and the only reason why it got made was because the president at the time saw American Graffiti, and they were like, you know what? I don't understand what the hell this script is, but we're going to give you the money because I love American Graffiti. And he went and did it, but he kept in his contract, he kept sequels and merchandising rights.
Right. And do you remember also Lucas had that book written for a possible sequel, Splinter in the Mind's Eye, because it was just Luke and Leia and Vader. It was real low. It would have been a real low budget thing, and he really figured that's what they were going to have to do, trundle it out, and it ended up being much bigger than anybody expected. And also, quickly, Robbie the Robot was on an episode of Columbo once too. We just saw him.
John, how do you remember all this stuff?
Well, I used to draw in front of the TV. I didn't have a dad. TV raised me. I always had a TV or a radio or VCR or whatnot to keep me company when I was up all night working. One of the few shows I watch anymore is I watch Columbo reruns on Sunday night with my wife. It's something that we get the kids in bed and we get to sit down and just enjoy that. And then we were enjoying Shameless afterwards, but that's over now. So it's an important part.
My dad loved Columbo. He got me into Columbo. Yeah.
Unfortunately, guys, time has run out. I look up and it's like, not only did we just use up all of Bob's 12 minutes.
Sorry, Bob.
But we've also used up all the time in the show.
Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Sorry, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. So just to let everybody know, we're going to do one last question and we'll whip it around and then we'll do the draw. Luke wants to know, so he can get his ticket in, which Star Wars underrated caricature would make a great spin-off series. So I think we talked about Unknown, but if you could do a Disney Plus, how about this? I'm going to alter it a little bit. If you could do a Disney Plus series, 6 episodes, like Wanda and Scarlet Witch or the Book of Boba, what character would you want to do a Disney Plus series about? Bob, I know you got to go, so give me your pick.
Princess Leia.
Cool. Get her daughter to play it.
Why not?
Yep. Mustafa, are you going with the foster parents again?
No. I'm gonna say Poe Dameron. That dude is really hot right now. What's his name? Oscar Isaac. He's already going to be Moon Knight. He's going to be like Solid Snake in Metal Gear. Like anybody would watch a show of just Poe, I think. Yeah. Like the further adventures or the early adventures of him. Like he's kind of our Han Solo for this era.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that because anybody else you'd have to recast or you'd have to find like a guy who looks like him but he doesn't, like Solo. Yeah, Oscar Isaac is still around. So yeah.
So, and the title would be Mo of Poe.
Nope.
Francine.
Okay, I don't remember the name of the character, but it was played by Diego Luna on the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I want to
I
know
love
more about that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Oh.
didn't get to show himself off in Rogue One. So yeah, I want to see more of him.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I
He was like
Rogue
this
One,
badass, but he didn't get to show it off.
Yeah,
And-
Cassian Andor.
and I also love this stupid robot or Rogue One. That attitude is my favorite robot of the Star Wars
Yeah.
robot.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me more of the characters from Rogue One before
Yeah, both
Rogue
of them.
One because we know they are gonna die.
I think they are doing that. They are doing a casting.
Yep, that's coming out.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. See, I have good ideas too.
You
They
will it
heard
into
you,
existence.
Fran. They heard you. They helped too, and it's in the can. John.
How about a show based around the bar on Moss Eisley?
The bar.
Well,
Ooh.
The bar.
Like imagine the bartender and just different people coming. Oh, that's
Different
good.
stories taking place around it: smuggling, drugs, fights, drama. It could be like Cheers, only with aliens.
Be an anthology series, yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peterson.
Good afternoon, Greedo.
Greedo!
Greedo.
Greedo! How's the weather out there, Greedo? It's dog eat dog day, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear.
He
Jamie.
doesn't like your face.
Mace Windu.
Mace.
Mace Windu.
Yep.
I think that's the one most people want to see, actually. Just because we got a nice taste of him in the prequels, and then what happened with the Emperor and young Vader there. But I think if Sam Jackson has been talking to George Lucas has been saying that it's possible that Mace Windu did survive the shot out of the building from the Emperor. So it'd be nice to do a whole thing where you look into the past of Mace Windu as well as the present. Or
If
later.
the Emperor they brought back, they can bring back Mace Windu.
That's
Exactly.
right.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Maul was split in half and they brought him back.
Exactly.
Emperor.
Yeah.
I freaking hate the stupid Emperor.
And then they could get the origin of the purple lightsaber.
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Purple mother. Oh, sorry. And that is a real drink, by the way.
All right, guys, we got to do the draw and get out of here. We are in overtime, so let's do a real quick one. Here comes. I don't think we haven't had a lot of questions today. Oh, a few days ago they announced Mace was the one to save Grogu. Oh, cool. I didn't know.
A few days ago.
I
What?
don't know.
That's a weird. Why
Oh,
would
okay.
they did it in a tweet? Like what?
Little Grogu, because I was thinking the other day, or somebody told me, if Grogu is now Luke's student, that means that stupid Kylo Ren is gonna kill him.
Basil, are
Yeah.
you here?
Stupid Kylo.
Bad parenting. Bad parenting.
Yeah, I know. Like, look at his dad. Just keep going being a freaking bounty hunter or whatever.
Seriously, how bad parents were Han and Leia? Yeah, Basil, pick one, Basil. Let's
That's
throw
why
it
you
out
need to
there.
tell a
Basil,
story of the
thank you
foster
for being
parents.
here.
Yay!
Thank you.
Congratulations, Basil.
Basil, congratulations. Let us know which print you'd like. Eric, let's show him his options. You have one of 9. Here we go. You can pick Spidey coming out of a grave. You can pick Some Like It Rot. Francine, thanks guys for. Oh no, our pleasure, Scott. We'll see. Come back again next week. Basil, let me know which one you want. Okay, guys. So let's wind it out. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for your time. I'd like to thank the artists that joined me today. Jamie Coker, where are you going to be this weekend?
Minot, North Dakota at iMagicCon.
Thank you, John Hebert. Looking forward to seeing your finished Darth Vader. Francine, as always, number 1. All right, Basil selects the Web of Spider-Man Francine, thank you. And Mustafa, are you going to be anywhere this weekend?
Yeah, actually, I just got the email. I am going to be at Traders Village Comic-Con here in Houston, Texas. I had a lot of fun there in 2019, and it's my home city, so that'll be great. And if we're showing artwork, since the people watching, I know they're big Turtles fans, I can show them a. Yeah, this is all the turtles here versus a familiar face. If you guys are big Turtles fans,
Oh,
Anyway.
very cool.
yeah, it's almost
Who are
done.
you doing that for?
It's a commission. It was actually it's a birthday commission, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And then if you guys are fans of that Batman and Joker guy, and then Robin in bondage, then I have that too. Yeah, there we go.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
he's having bad days. They're having bad days.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, guys. I want to
Nice to see you guys.
thank you, artists, for
Hey,
just
everybody.
spending the last hour and a half with me. Thank you, the viewing public, for spending the last hour and a half with us talking about Star Wars and all things art. Join us this Friday for the Lost Toy Box from 3 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. We will have art prints and vintage toys and all sorts of fun stuff. And come back again next Wednesday, and I'm sure we'll have lots more nonsense to speak of for an hour and a half. Good night, everybody, from the Great White North and all points in between.
See you next week.